Well, good morning. My name is Craig Blanchette, and this is our weekly Health Coach Huddle Up. We do this every week at 9 a.m. Pacific. That would be noon Eastern. So what we want to do a couple of things, perspective as to what this is and why we do it for those of you that are joining us for the first time. Everyone that's in this meeting, involved in this meeting, and pretty much everybody I know, when I ask them the question, are you as healthy as you want to be? I've never heard someone say yes. They may be healthy as they want to be in some areas, but not every area. And so we're a group of people that have decided that we're not as healthy as we want to be, and we want to do something about it in a community with other people. And so many of us have started off as clients of the Habits of Health system and kind of learning, what health really looks like and what it really means. And then some of us have gone on to get trained to help people around them. And some of us have taken that to another level and have decided to make this their primary vocation. I was talking with a couple of guys this morning as I was working out. And what's fascinating, as someone who's going to be working on health for the rest of my life, making this not only part of my personal goals, but to have this part of my vocational goals. I mean, you're either working or you're not working, right? So what if health was part of both areas of your life? Would that give you an advantage? And I think it does, and that's one of the reasons why I've chosen to coach as well. So for those of you that are here live, I want to make sure that you know that you can watch this recording by going to Vimeo and searching for Blanchette, Team Blanchette. If you're in our Optimal Health Coach page, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I post a link so you can subscribe. We have probably 40 to 50 people that subscribe and get the download. This is also available on podcast. So a podcast is a subscription. It's like a audio only subscription. You subscribe once, and every week when there's a new episode, it'll automatically be delivered to your phone. And so you can subscribe to not only this weekly meeting, but you can also subscribe to the Habits of Health podcast, as well as the doctor and nurse calls. So they'll automatically be delivered every week. So we're going to do some guest introductions here in a minute. Actually, why don't we jump into the guest introductions? Folks that are on here for the first time, do we have anybody that's first time on here? Go ahead and unmute yourself, introduce, say where you're from and who invited you, and we'll start from there. Anyone? Nina, what's happening, Nina? So who invited you?
I'm number 2. This is my second.
Oh, sweet. I think you were saying, peace, I want to talk.
Well, that too. Okay. I figured if nobody else is, I will. But anyway, two session, and I'm here with Diane.
Diane, great. Yeah. And then, great. And where are you from? Did you say
I'm in Vancouver, Washington, from Portland, Oregon.
Okay. I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
So many of us are from there too. Great. And then what's something that interests you about attending? Why, what's the value of being here today?
So the long and the short of it is that I was on program in 2008 and was fantastic. Loved it. Became a health coach in 2009. Did pretty good. Got glamored away into another company, and wasn't finding the kind of success that I'm interested in. And I said, well, why am I not exploring Take Shape for Life again? Because I did have success there. So part of that journey has been that I let my health go for a couple of different reasons. So, wow, what interesting timing. So let's get back on plan. Diane and I belong to a mastermind group. We do some networking together, that kind of stuff. And I said, well, Stop fighting it. Just go do what was successful.
Yeah, that's great. I love the term.
Yeah.
I got glamored away. There are a lot of sparkly conversations to be had, and a
Yep.
lot of stuff that looks really good. And I don't fault anybody. I say I hope they're doing the best job they can. I'm just going to assume that every
Yeah.
other company out there is doing everything they can to be as good as they can,
Yeah.
and so are we. And so I like this particular model, and what you just said there was interesting. You got glamored away to something else, and one of the things that went on the back burner was your own personal health, and they're combined here. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Kind of interesting. I guess
Yeah.
I didn't put it that way, but yes, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. I'm excited you're here again. And it looks like everybody else. One of the things Wesley has, you probably didn't recognize him, but it's the same guy that's been here before. But Wes, why don't you give us an update? Because I know you hit a big milestone recently with your own personal health journey.
Oh, thanks for unmuting me. I'm slow on computer stuff, so you unmuted me. Thanks. Yeah, and I'm doing No Shave November for cancer awareness. So my family asked me to do it, and I hate it because I wanted to shave every day, but it's for a good cause, I guess. So.
Well, it looks beautiful on you. Your face.
That's why I look like a mountain man.
Yeah.
I didn't shave my legs all month either, so
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got on program with Craig because as a cyclist, my cycling coach and I had lost so much weight, but like 15 pounds or so, but I couldn't lose that extra 15. And I wanted to push this next season of bike racing up to the next level. And I just couldn't get there on my own just by adding vegetables and taking a few calories off and doing a lot more base miles. And I just couldn't shake it off. And so Craig just kept talking to me like, I can see you taking that extra 15 or 20 off. And I just didn't believe him. I thought my metabolism, on my mom's side of the family, or I'm getting older, or I made all these excuses. And like, it was inevitable that I was just going to stay at this plateaued weight because I had stayed plateaued for over a decade. So I was like, this is my DNA. It's old age, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, finally I came back to Craig because we were friends and meeting to do a workout group and to kind of be accountable with our training, I guess. Is that a good way to say it? It's one way to put it.
Yeah, it was workout community.
Building exercise and building community of healthy people and healthy-minded people. And so I came to him and I said, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this extra 15 or 20. And my wife was ready with me, which helps because if she shops and she keeps the stuff out of the cupboards for the kids and doesn't bake her brownies on Friday night and bring me a glass of wine every night with dinner, or 2 or 3, but if she's in on it with me and we're doing it together, I can be successful. So we decided to sign up together, and both of us have lost a lot of weight with Craig. And Craig said, I can see you coming down now from 175 to 165. And I was like, no way. If I just get down to like 170, or I don't know what I said. I forgot. Do you remember, Craig?
Well, yeah, you were, I think, at 178, and you wanted to get down to 170, 168, somewhere there. And I said, well, you could go further if you wanted.
He's like, you can go to 165. And I'm like, all right, I'm just ready to sign up because I had some races to do still last summer at the end of the season and bike races. And I was like, well, if I'm down 10 pounds for those races, it's going to help for those bike races. And so 165 was our goal. And now after a couple months of being on the transition stage, I went for, how long? I've been on a 4 and 2 basically, and now I'm at 155 instead of 165. So I went way past what I even thought was possible.
Yeah, awesome. So there you go, guys. Well, and a couple of reasons why I wanted Wes to share her story. Hopefully, it encourages some of you guys. But I'm trying to. I'm not trying. I am a healthy person, and healthy people do healthy things. And so one of the ideas I had was, what if I created a workout sessions with other people that don't live close to me? And I had to figure that out. So I created these Zoom workouts. And you heard about them last summer or last winter, where we were having people from all around the country basically get online at the same time and sit in our garages and talk and work out together. Well, Wes is a byproduct of that community. And I had no idea he'd be a client. I just wanted him to show up and talk and provide relationship. And then it turned out that he decided I had some more things that I could offer, and he wanted those. And now he's looking at the coaching piece and figuring out, how his mind settles with coaching. So the whole point is to tell you is that I was showing up to meet a felt need, which he wanted someone to work out with. And then over time, when we addressed the felt need, there was a found need that we now addressed. And so with you guys, as you're working through people in your worlds, find when the felt need is exposed, work with the felt need. That's the thing that they want right now. That's what's motivating. That's their big pain that they want to get away from. And so start there and let it unfold as it does. You don't know where it will go. Just let it go where it goes. And so it's been fun working with Wes and, all that. So anyway, anybody else? I think that's pretty much. Anybody else have any highlights that they want to maybe just share a big win you've had in your own personal health journey? If you don't, that's okay, but no.
I'd like to share something.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah, this has been neat. This is probably the last, since we did this Optavia 90 challenge. And for those of you who don't know, there was a big, the shift in, Take Shape for Life to Optavia. We were encouraged as leaders to embrace what well-being would mean. And one of the biggest questions that changed in my mind was, what would it look like to be healthy instead of to try always to do something weight loss wise, or to always try and change my physique or my body around? But what would healthy living truly look like if I was in a state of being? And it shifted my focus completely away from weight loss. And every once in a while, just for fun, I look at the scale just to see what the side effects of that are. It's like there's no attachment emotionally, which is so cool. I don't know of a time in my life where I've not had some affinity to that number being a certain place. And it's very interesting how my weight has been more stable than it ever has without making any, like I'm trying to lose weight or I'm trying to put muscle on. I've chose, how would I be acting? How would I be living? What activities am I really wanting to engage in life? And what are the other activities that might lead up to that? So if I want to be healthy and fit and have a certain amount of endurance, because I like mountain climbing, that's the real goal, is like to be out and engage in life fully. Or I want to be able to go for runs with friends because I really enjoy that high of seeing things together, breathing. Well, of course, then there's conditioning and there's exercise and there's eating certain types of fuel. And I'm really seeing those choices as just a part or vehicle to that optimal being and well-being without the focus. And it's taken probably 30 or 60 days, but back then it took 30, 60 days. It's now been, I don't know how many months it's been since July. Was that when it was announced, Craig?
Yeah, it was right after convention, so July.
Yeah, but this is the point. The point is that I'm so free from that attachment to the scale or my weight. But my number on the scale is pretty amazing when I actually come into the conscious place of looking at it and going, well, what is it? It's staying the same. Let that sink in however you want for you, but I'm not making any effort. It doesn't feel like effort, like I'm trying to manipulate a number on the scale, because I'm not. I'm like, whatever the number is going to be. It's interesting.
Well, yeah, you're living the lifestyle, and the results, you're getting the the effects of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Interesting. Great stuff.
I think it's I feel what Alex is talking about is that once you first of all, when you started out and you make these goals, you discipline yourself, and it's hard because you're changing some bad habits into good habits. But once you do it consistently, it does become easier and easier, and you make those choices from day to day, moment to moment, and it leads towards your success, and you don't have to try anymore. It's just automatic. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with something
Well said.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, that's great stuff. I've got a couple, so thank you all for the intros here. I've got a couple of things that are coming up that I want to talk about. First one is we have a health games that starts Monday. One of the things, I kind of went back and went old school, and so I went to the challengecoaches.com and downloaded a little graphic, put my name on the bottom, and send it to Walgreens, and I got 20 of these made for $5. And so I'm handing these out to people that I come in contact, just the one-off people on the street, just trying to build community. Simple thing to do, but when I have something that looks kind of nice, it seems like it's more professional than, hey, I'm doing this thing and give me your phone number, right? And so this is what we used to do when we had big challenges. We had big people, I remember having 50 people on a team, and all those 50 were people that I personally invited. And so think about what you're doing for the holiday season. This season is a time when there's lots of people that are, they're going to be part of something. And I was explaining to Wes this morning about the challenge, and he said, well, what is it? And he kept asking me, well, what is it? Well, how does that work? Well, what is this? And what I realized is there's nothing like it. There's nothing like our health games. At least it's not widely around. Most of the time, a health challenge at a company, well, what are your guys' experience when you have people that have done a health challenge or a weight loss challenge at a place they work? What do your experiences look like? Anybody want to? Yeah, go ahead, Nina.
What I've seen in the past is pretty basic. It's a weight loss challenge, and there might be a prize at the end, gift cards or whatever, and might possibly incorporate maybe a walking group at lunch hour or something like that.
Yeah, well, and what I've seen a lot is it's people throw money into a bucket, and it's whoever loses the most weight, it's winner take all kind of a thing. Sometimes there's exercise. They'll do Fitbit challenges where they'll track people's calories or steps, and things like that. But I haven't seen anything where you can have multiple winners, where you get points for like lots of habits. Like you get points for drinking water. You get points for getting good sleep. You get points for sticking to your meal plans. You get points for reading a healthy habit or tip. You get points for building community. You get points for inviting people. You get all these points for all these different things. And so I haven't seen anything that's like what we do. And so if people are looking to be part of something, why not invite them to this? Why go look for something different when this is great? And so anyway, I just want to encourage you guys. Here's a couple of misunderstandings. This is not a Take Shape for Life 5-in-1 challenge, and you have to be a client to be part of these games. It's not. Most people are, or many are, but that's secondary. The challenge is $23. It lasts 4 weeks, $23.99. You get 4 weeks worth of content, and then if you get enough points and you meet your weight goal, whether it's to maintain or lose 4%, then you get to split the prize money at the end. So that's what the challenge is. And anybody can participate. So go out and find some people that are already healthy, that love learning healthy things. They love this challenge. And guess what? They've got friends that aren't as healthy as they want to be that they'll invite, and now our community grows. And guess what? They get a dose of our culture and a dose of our life strategies, which are really, really effective, by the way. I'm sure you guys know that. So anyway, that's just a little thing on the health games. And then I've got a presentation about mindset for over the next 6 to 8 weeks, because we're coming into a very unique season of the year. But I wanted just to have a quick little refresher about Facebook. So Facebook, we have between Alex's team and my team, we've got 3 websites. So Alex and his team is still part of what we call Optimal Health, the Optimal Health Coach, right? And so Optimal Health Coach is this one here. And it is where we do different things that are related to health coaching and health coaching tips and questions. And we celebrate people that are ranking up. Lauren Adams just got her cab, pretty sweet. Kathy Wattups, she had a personal victory, Drama Triangle. So there's lots of different things in here. So you want to be subscribed to this, and you want to pay attention to it. So you can go up here into your notifications, and then you can say, I want to be notified by all posts, right? And that will increase the stuff you're notified on. Now, so that's coaching only. Optimal Wellbeing Community is for all clients. So there's 556 people on here, and these are people that are clients on the 501 program, right? And there's Martin posted a jicama recipe here. Kathy showed a picture of her. She's lost over 100 pounds. Pretty exciting. So we celebrate different people. I post the Zoom calls. There's another one of Lauren. So anyway, this is what this looks like. And this is where when you bring on a new client, if you're not part of Alex's direct team, this is where they're going to get some support. Now, Alex, for those of you who are part of Alex's team, it's called Optimal Living 365. And this is where Alex does his client support stuff and celebrating people and, different things like that. Recipes, workout tips, that kind of thing. So just so you guys know where to invite people to, Optimal Living 365 if Alex is your direct coach. For everyone else, Optimal Wellbeing Community. And then for both of us, health coaching, it's Optimal Health Coach is the page for that. Any questions about that?
Let's be a specific example of that. So if you are a coach that came through a coach that was one of my people, you would be on my group, Optimal Living 365.
You'd already be there probably.
Well, yeah. But there can be some confusion because we have had people sign up on different pages, and that's what we're trying to clarify, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're clients on the Optimal Health Coach page, which would not be the place to put clients at, right?
That's for people, once they purchase their health coach kit, then we.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And you may just just kind of like I'm going to put them on a page. Just make sure you check that. And then, so secondly, so if you're Eileen as an example, Eileen, you're not going to be on Craig's page.
Client support page.
The client support page, but you will be on the coach page.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's one more layer to this, and that is that I know that Daniela and Kim host their own page, which you didn't mention. So if you're a coach underneath them, you're obviously in Kim and Daniela's page there.
So just check with your coach and say, where should I be? And then as you develop, if you're a coach, make sure you're in the coach support page. And then as you bring on clients, make sure you know where to introduce them and connect them. So that was.
And I think one of the biggest things, Craig, is that we interact there. It's so amazing that what communication is about. It's about actually having conversations that are lives, right? And we want to model that to our clientele. We are so much social creatures that people are actually using Facebook to try and get their social engagement. And I'm not going to explain the pros and cons of that. The really that people are browsing a lot of stuff. So we want to make sure that our pages are vibrant, and it's not just Craig posting or Alex posting. There should be like literally, I don't know, I'm going to make up a number, 50-to-1 ratio of other people's posts besides Craig if you're in Craig's support page.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the health coach page, but I'm talking about the client support page.
Yeah. And here's what kinds of things you'd want to post there. You would want to post a personal victory, a non-scale victory, or even a scale victory. You'd want to post a recipe that you found that was healthy and compliant. You would want to post if you're having a challenge or a question. You know, I'm going out to dinner at this place, and I'm not sure what I should order. You know, so those are the things you want to celebrate, the culture of community and the things that will build a good community. And that's celebrate, you know, we love it when you see somebody's success. You know, like Kathy posted that thing on her picture on the coach support page. And I immediately went to her and said, hey, can you put this on the client page so that the rest of those clients that are in there will see some inspiration? Because they're in there, they may have been in there for a long time, and they have maybe fallen off the wagon, and they need a little bit of inspiration. So those are some of the things to post on there. What you don't want to post on there is, you know, like I have some people that are clients and they'll post another candle, they're selling something, right? So we kind of keep it focused on healthy stuff. Maybe you're going to enter a Thanksgiving Day run. And so you post it on there and say, who wants to join me? That'd be great ideas, right? If you're having a healthy happy hour, post it there. Let us all know about it. So those are some ideas for those kind of things. So,
okay, one more thing. Sorry. Craig, this is something that I just want to have everybody listen. When should you have your own support page? Because I know there are some newer coaches who have started their own support pages when they just have a few clients or not very many people, and they're starting to create this little thing. What are the negatives about starting your own page and not having your mentor coach? Yeah. And when should you start your own page?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And there's different schools of thought. I think the minimum qualification would be an minimum executive director, but I think you probably need to have, that's 20 people, probably would more in the realm of a national director, where you have some coaches and you have a bit of not only clients, but you have some coaches, and you've been building a team. Because one of the things is that when you're building your business, there's this concept of drafting, right? And when you're racing, you have somebody that's strong out in front, you can tuck in behind them if you're not as strong, and you can still go at their pace, right? So as a new coach, draft me. Draft your coach, because they're stronger. They've been doing this longer than you have, and they have a little bit more stamina. They have a little bit more skill sets. So hop in their draft and draft them rather than going out in front and getting tuckered out because you're doing all this work and you just don't have the strength for it yet. So does that pretty make sense? David and Terry Miller say you need to draft us more often. And they told me about a year ago. And I was like, so the times when I'll take a poll, that means go to the front. The times when I'll take a poll or go to the front are when I want to do something that they're not doing. If they're doing it and I do it too, in a race, that would be both of us in the front and we're both pushing the same amount of wind. That's called stupidity, right, Dean? Yeah. Either take a poll or get behind. Yeah, go ahead.
And don't get behind Craig. He's too low to the ground.
Yeah.
No, hey, just a quick question, and I probably already know the answer to this, but I just want to ask it for the benefit, of myself and others. I have people that probably they're not clients, but they're always, they have questions. Would it be okay to add them, to suggest to have them add to the optimal well-being community, just so that they can observe?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You just need to let me know because I have to approve people. And sometimes we'll get people, like I approved some people last week and then they started selling their own whatever there was. And I had to get them off there. So let me know, because if I don't know them or I can't find them in my back office, then I'm not going to accept them.
Got it.
But
Okay.
I think we should allow people, and I'm even entertaining the idea of people that are entertaining health coaching to throw them on our health coaching page and have them experience some of our coaching culture and community. But we need to improve that community because it's kind of dormant in there.
Yeah, one of the things I also suggest is, obviously, to pray for group. On my page, if you're at like executive director, then I'm going to give you admins to add people yourself at some point in time when you're kind of getting into the leadership role and bringing coaches on. So that way, but then there will be a respect and a trust that you'll make sure that the people you're bringing on are the right people into the group. But that gives a little autonomy in that regard too.
I just wrote that down. That'll be taken care of shortly.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. All right. So great discussion. Now we have an idea of what the challenge offers. We have an idea of some of our Facebook pages and groups. And I'm going to go through a little presentation that I put together that we didn't get to last week. That's tips for looking at 2017. And let's see, today's the 18th there. Now it's current. So one of the first things and the ideas here is this idea, I call it lead from the future, act in the now. And it's sort of a time traveler's mentality where you go into the future to a certain time. So this would be January, February, March, somewhere in the first quarter of next year. And you say, what kinds of things would I like to be part of? Well, I want to be part of a vibrant community. This is very open-minded. You can design and create whatever you'd like. Some of the things, if you're specific on certain things that are hard to quantify, then it might not be very good. But you just want to go in the future and say, well, I'd like to have 5 or 10 new relationships. I would like to be at a specific rank. I would like to be part of, a home group, or I'd like to start doing healthy happy hours. I'm trying to jog your brain as to some different things that you might see in that future. I'm going to be a person that's more aware of my emotions. I'm going to be a person that listens better. Who knows what it is, but you're going to go forward into the future and think about some ideas, and here's some ideas. And then what you do is you come back to today and you tell yourself about that. So let's pretend like your current self and your future self are static, and you can teleport into the future, talk to your future self, and then teleport back and talk to your current self. So you want to go into the future, find out what's going on, come back and tell your current self about it, so that then you can take actions that'll need to happen for that to happen. And so here's some ideas. January 7th is a event. It's going to be like a super regional where Dr. A does an online broadcast, type of thing. And so January 7th, people are ripe and ready for help. There is February 13th is the day when the most people make a decision about what they're going to do in January. So I don't know about you, but 2 or 3 days leading up to the 13th, I would be showing up in people's world. You define what that looks like. That could be a social media. That could be you're calling people, you're hanging out with people, you're connecting with people, right? You're talking about health. So ask your future self, how many people do I want to help?
Hey, Craig, can you clarify? You said February 13th.
December 13th. Yes, thank you. Yeah. December 13th, sorry.
Okay.
For some reason,
Well, people are really going into the future and making their decisions and then coming back to now, aren't they?
They're all doing the
It's
same
February
thing.
13th. I'm so healthy.
It's right
Time
before
work.
Valentine's Day. So how many people do you want to help? Let's say you chose a number of 10. Well, in order to help 10 people, you might need to talk to 100. Right? So that's going to, if you really want to help 10 people in January, then your decisions you're going to start making, you're not going to wait until December 31st in order to have conversations. Or that was a fairy tale. It wasn't a real thing, right? What do you want what do you want the feel of your support to look like? So when you connect with people, how do you want them to feel? Think about that. Get connected to that. What schedule?
Craig, just so we can move on in our mind, at least me from a coaching other coaches standpoint. When you threw out a number like help 10 people it would take talking to 100, some people's thoughts can get overwhelmed by that and go, oh my goodness. First off, so if you're having reservations about talking to people, period, work with your mentor coach on where that block is so that you can find that true intrinsic motivation where you want to and you get to and you choose to.
Yeah.
The second thing I want to break down, and you, Craig, please expand in a minute. Second thing I want to break down is it's actually more simple than you think to talk to 100 people between now and then. Very simple. You're going to talk to more than 100 people as it is. Okay. And conversations. So we can help you simplify what that looks like. If you broke down talking to 5 people a day, again, if you didn't have the motivation and you were scared of it, you wouldn't talk to anybody and it'll just be a number on a piece of paper and then you never get out of the parking lot. So work with your mentor coach on where you find that energy to that. But 5 people a day, and you took 2 days off, and those are easy conversations once you know what you're going to say and how they go. How many days would it take? Only 20. Well, hold on, let me do the math on that. Did I get that right? I did. Only 20 days to engage 100 people.
So here's the question, too, is when I say talk to 100 people, you all heard different things in your head. I meant talk to. I didn't say give a full program presentation. I didn't say ask if they want to be a health coach. Mm-hmm. You're going to talk to people unless you never leave your house and you don't open your mouth. I guess you could talk to them, though, on Facebook. You talk to people all the time. Now, if you think you're trying to get people, I'm trying to convince you into doing something I think is good for you. And that feels weird. It's because it is. So let that go. Just let it go. Because if that's in your way, it's not something that should be there anyway. It's not something you should be doing. So you have something blocking you that you shouldn't be doing anyway that's blocking you because you don't want to do it. So don't. I hope that sinks in. Go be human with people. Like Wes. Hey, you want to work out together? Right? Kim, you had your hand raised. Go for it.
Yeah, I think it piggybacks on what you just said really well, Craig. I think just in having conversations with Alex and Daniela and things, I just have come to realize, sometimes we can get so caught up in those, not like, okay, I know I need to talk to this many people, or I know I need to engage with 5 people a day. I really like structure, so I can be like, okay, I talked with 5 people, check it off my list. But those conversations or interactions don't necessarily move the relationships forward, I guess. And so I guess that's been my kind of realization. Maybe I'm doing some of these steps, but I'm doing them in the act of just checking something off the list instead of saying, I want to have better relationships with these people. If I just engage on a really low level, it's probably going to stay on that low level. And so I've been really kind of reflecting like, okay, so I want to engage with these people, get to know them better. It doesn't have to do with necessarily sharing the program, but I'm never going to have an opportunity to share what I have, the gift that I have, if people don't trust me, if it's just a weird kind of a, why is she asking me about my kids? I don't know her, you know, that kind of thing. So I just have been thinking a lot more about that and you know, creating, you know, actual relationships as opposed to just checking something off the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. If you don't really care about people, if you just don't really, this is probably, you probably should go do something else. Unless you want to learn to care about people. If you don't really care about people and you don't really want to learn, Take Shape for Life is not for you. I just want to be real clear. And it's okay, no judgment. There's a lot of things you can do, you know, in this world where you don't have to.
Did you have a comment or a question?
Who? What'd you say?
Nina.
Oh, Nina.
Yeah, he can't see you, Nina, because you're on different pages. There we go. Now we can see you. I was scrolling onto a page that I happened to see you.
So I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of what Kim was saying, and this is part of what I am realizing with a lot of companies and being glamored here and there. They may also be talking about talking to 5 people a day, and I think what ended up happening with me and possibly with a lot of people as well is that you do get caught up in that number, checking it off the list. But the second part of that is, okay, if I've done that to my best ability, what do I do with all those people? The next step. It can get overwhelming. You can lose people in the process. And then you're sort of like, oh, you know, I've got these 10 people that I've gotten up to 15 or whatever. Okay, now what's the next step? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're asking, where do you go once you've made the connections, or?
Right, in an authentic way, how to keep track of your conversations so that they don't feel like you're just going through the motions to get the numbers done. And on the same token, for me, I felt like I didn't want to miss anybody. You know, I spoke to that person, oh, don't let me forget about them. So that might be a tactical thing, but I think it's really, really huge in organizing your day and staying at that authentic level.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's where I'm going to get to here, because I'm not going to define this for you, because I think you guys will answer this question. So go into the future and think, what would it look like to connect with people? What kinds of connections do you want to have with people? Who do you want to be partnered with? You know, how do you want to be someone that's kind of flaky, or do you want to be someone that has authentic relationships and really cares about people so much that compels you to, maybe when you before you talk to them, you've planned on talking to them, so you wrote their name down. And then when you did talk to them, you wrote down a few things you learned about them. And you wrote down another time when you're going to talk to them. Maybe that's what it looks like. But you guys can figure out what that looks like for you. But, you know, I got just a few slides here. We're getting close to the end. What do you want your business?
And let me just lastly say, Nina, there's structure that we will teach, and then we will also make sure we run that balance between authentically connecting and then properly moving through, so that your mind doesn't have to manage all this. So we'll dive deeper specifically to you once we kind of figure out your audience and your way of thinking. Mm-hmm. So
all these things will help, and we want to help you to create those things, and we'll give you some guidelines. But if you don't spend time in the future, how will you know where you're going? The point is you won't. You'll just get up and sort of the day will happen. And then you'll go to bed and do it again. But if you're able to get your mindset about spending this time, this takes discipline. But when you've taken the discipline, the next day you get up, you have clarity on where you want to go. I love this thing about your brand. What will your brand be, and what will be fun for you? Your brand is how you show up in the world. What kind of person are you in the world? How do you show up? You know, what do you want your income to look like? You know, there's a lot of little questions here. You know, personal branding. What will people think about this holiday and New Year? Will it be you? When someone thinks about, man, I really want to get healthy this year, and does your name come to their mind? If you've branded yourself well, I think it might. Be conscious of what you show up as in person and how you show up in person in social media. Will you pig out at Thanksgiving? Think about it. Well, you're healthy. You could, but a bunch of those people out there are not healthy, and they see you one time a year, and they see you branding yourself as this healthy person, but when they see you in person, they see you pigging out, and they make judgments. It's not real.
That would be a brand disconnect. That would mean that your mouth and what you're saying about yourself don't match who your real actions are.
Yep. And even if you're staying healthy, they don't see you 364 days a year. They see you one day. December 13th is the number one decision day. What will your strategy be on that day or the day before? Solid relationships, working closely with your clients through the holidays with what they want. Do they want to stay on track? Do they want to kind of maintain? Do they want to lose, maintain, or do they want to just sort of kind of see how it goes? I would suggest that making a plan with them for the month of December, and you kind of have 3 buckets you can fall into. And then build strong support and really layer the 3 areas we focus on. So we focus on many areas. We focus on a healthy body, which involves lots of areas of physical health. We focus on mental health, which is emotions and relationships and these other things. And then we focus on vocational and financial health, which has a lot of aspects to that as well. And so are we really layering people on all 3 areas? And by the way, we offer more ways to help people financially than them becoming a coach. That is one of them. Reducing medications would affect their health. Helping them to be more productive at work, that would affect their financial health. Having less sick days, right? There's a lot of ways we can affect people's financial health besides the one that we all know of, which is becoming and learning to help others. So create a list or a whiteboard, a grand plan, a dream board, master plan. Put something up that's in front of you. I was thinking about this, talking with Alex the other day. We have something called a map. And that's a thing that we use to track our business. But let's set that aside for a minute. Let's talk about an actual map. You pull out a map because you don't know where you're going. If you put that map away, how will you see where you're going? Have it in front of you. Have it visible. Have your plan of what you're going to do and who you're going to talk to, and those names, those important, precious names of people that you care about, have those in front of you and interact with that. I don't know if you guys can see this, but over here, I've got a board with a bunch of names on it. Those are a bunch of coaches that I work with and I care about. And when I look over there once in a while, I think about them, oh yeah, and then it reminds me to call one of them, reconnect. Clients, past clients, coaches, potential coaches, reawakened coaches. Then January 7th event is a big event. Before January 1st is a big time. Between Christmas and New Year's, I would be very active on social media. Lots of success stories, lots of, invitations or very magnetic stuff that draws people to you. The whole month of January and then February, March, and April. These, have your dream board. Think about what you want to create. And then here's a bonus. The setup that supports your desires and allows you to show up fully present at your best. So what if you built a plan with your health coach, with your mentor, that really would accomplish these things? Maybe not specific, turn this key, flip that switch, but it's like, well, I need to be talking to 5 people a week and having deeper conversations with them. I need to be working on my awareness. I need to have more quiet time. Figure out what those things look like so it gets those building blocks in place so that you start to become that future person. I've been spending, just a personal testimony here, I don't want to be talking too much today, but I've had a significant awakening since since Sundance. And one of the things we talked about here, quadrant 2 time, where I'm spending time with the not urgent, but still important, right? That's like journaling. It's not urgent. Nobody's going to die if I don't journal today, but it's important for who I'm becoming. Reading books, writing, right? And so I've made it a commitment to get up around 5 a.m., 5:30, and I have 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, maybe you can do that. I don't know. Don't judge the time frame, whatever. For me, that's working. And then every night I go to bed and I look forward to when the alarm goes off, because I get to come and with my cup of cappuccino, Medifast cappuccino, nice and warm. I got the lights just right. It's dark outside. I put my little hat on and I sit here at my desk and I read and I write and I think and I just do stuff. And it's been 5 or 6 days a week. Man, I'm just getting some serious stuff done. Stuff that takes that deeper emotional energy. Like for me, writing is such a pain. Writing on a topic, creating something and writing it down is like, I'd rather talk about it, as you can tell. And, but I've had some things that I needed to write for a manual that I'm working on. And then it's just when I give myself the time to succeed, I do. So are you giving yourself time to be with your thoughts and to develop you? If you're not developing you, who is? That's some strong words. I had to really let that sink in. Here's a total admission. Last year at convention, so a year and a half ago, somebody said that. If you're not developing you, who is? Spend the first hour a day with you, because you're important. And that was eating at me for a year, and I just didn't have the structure to do it. And something clicked in me at Sundance, and I said, I can do that. And I said, not only can I will. And it's been so good. I just want all of you to experience that.
It was sharing a room with me, Craig. That's what did it.
Was.
Just be real.
Times too, Alex.
Sorry, not all of you can do that, but Craig can.
Yeah.
So
we're
special.
Guys. So, I could share a love seat, right?
Yeah.
Love seat. Yeah. Because I'm short. That's the joke. So let's talk about, as you guys are thinking through this, we have a 1 minute at the end for everybody to say, what's one thing I can do that I will do today? Maybe you take the half an hour. I personally schedule the next half hour after this for some journaling time, some action time, some this is on my heart and I want to act on it. So what if you had that in your calendar where you took from 9 to 10:30? 9 to 10 was for this meeting and the half hour was for what you're going to do. So
Yeah.
here's the quiz for you guys. You only get one. If you have more, fine for you, but we only have time for you to share one. And then what I'd like you to do today is, as soon as you did it, go to the Optimal Health Coach page and post what you did. So there's some accountability. We have 14 people that are on the line today, so there should be 14 posts of what we did. Okay? Alex, what's your thing?
I'm inviting, I'm not sure how many, but it's a lot. I have a list of people to the holiday health games. This is that critical time, so I'm busting that out. I have a strategy to do that too. So any of my coaches who don't know how to put together that text message or what that call sounds like, make sure you engage with me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm doing the same thing. It's go time. It's the games weigh-in starts tomorrow, and the first day is Monday. So it's go time, 4 weeks. Diane?
Last year, I think I had about 8 to 10 people join me per day from doing that last minute thing the last 3 days before. So,
yep. And there's just a simple dialogue that I have. Hey, I signed up. I committed myself to this thing, and I need this thing. Do you know anybody that would be interested in helping me out? And let's see where it goes. Diane.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to invite 5 people a day, and that's going really well. So I'm going to continue to do that.
Great job. Martin, you're up. I'll unmute you. Go ahead. Can you hear
Same
me?
action is, yeah, sorry. I was waiting for it to quiet down. Can I have 2 things?
No. You might have to, but only share one.
Moving a coach forward today.
Okay, great. Eileen, you're up.
Blog with God.
Blog with God. Okay, sweet. Kim, you're up.
Mine will be focused on the inviting to challenge.
Do you have a specific number you want to get to today?
I've been pretty much set at 5, but it's probably will be more than that. I think we're down to the wire. So.
Yep, great. Carrie, you're up.
I would like to spend an hour sitting down with nobody bothering me. And we're having a healthy happy hour tomorrow night. And so I want to follow up with all of my maybes. There's 10 people to follow up with. And we have over 15 coming, I think. So it should be, yeah, it'll be awesome. But if I have quiet time to myself, usually I'm trying to get other things done around the house and I need to sit down and just do business. So that's my goal.
Very good. Yep. Wesley, you got something on your mind?
Yeah, since we just talked about it, I think inviting to this health games. I'll be leaving. I'll be showering, packing, and going for the next couple days. So I'll have to do it. I don't know when. Should I?
Well, you could join the games yourself. That would be your first thing to do.
That'd be okay. That's my first thing.
Yep. And then when you get in the car, you can call me and I'll help you with the rest.
Okay.
Talk and drive.
Yeah, I can do that. Well, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, Daniela, you're up.
So I think for me, it's going to be really sitting down and creating a structure that works for me. I think I've been listening a lot, which is good, and I've been reading a lot, which is good. But I'm realizing you can't just take someone else's structure. You need to find your own. And so I need to sit down and give myself that time to create my own.
Yeah. So thank you. Yep. And so so taking the time to start the process is something you definitely can do. It's hard to say how long it'll take you to create that structure. Yeah. Diane just said,
I just want to FYI just say it's taken me over a year to create the structure that works for me. But the key is you start with something simple and then you build on it. Don't think you have to create the entire thing because you won't be able to. Your needs of the day will show you what to tweak.
Well,
so just that one, you get started.
If you don't go into the future, if you don't have a picture of that future, who knows what you'll sort of, who knows how will you be compelled as to know what you need to do?
What were you thinking? What were you saying, Daniela?
Oh, I was just saying it was a spin-off of my little conversation with Craig earlier based on his Habits of Health call with Shirley Mass. The big thing that I took away from that was to simplify things. And I think I tend to take on too much all at once, and it causes a structural tension that's unhealthy. So it's the kind that snaps rather than that pulls you, because I have too much on my list, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm taking away, is simplify my structure to start with. Make it easy so I can actually succeed with it every day consistently, and then add one more little thing to it.
Yeah. We can have a whole call next week just on that topic. That's so good, Daniela.
Well, you see it all the time in these muscle magazines where there's some, woman who's got this body or this guy's got this body, and teaching the person who hasn't even gotten off the couch to do their routine. It's like, come on, that's not where they started.
Yeah. Nina, you're up.
So it was suggested with the health challenge that, because I was a health coach before, to reach out to my old clients. So as I was cleaning my office and moving the last couple of days to a better lighting area, I pulled all that stuff out. So I think as I'm investigating whether I'm going to come in as a health coach or not, doesn't matter. I can still invite these people. And I think it'll also help with potential branding properly too. So I'll reach out to my previous clients, and I'm going to start with the number 5 today also.
Yeah. Now, are you in the challenge yourself?
Yes.
Great. So you have the first requirement is done. Now you're just inviting them to a team, not a business, not a company, not a product.
Yep.
To a community. Yep. And then Debbie, you have an idea?
Yeah, I've inviting more people to the challenge. I just wanted to say a couple of wins is that I've got somebody that I finally talked to. I sat down and talked to her, and she's going to probably join the challenge, and she's bringing her sister-in-law. And so I'm really, really excited about that.
Good
and just
for
FYI, what you were talking about with the thinking about yourself, Alex posted this great thing on the website. There it is. If it is to be, it's up to me. It's a great listen, and I really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But inviting people. So if anybody hasn't listened to it, it's great. It's 1977, but it applies right now and really makes you think.
That's good. So. All right. Well, thank you guys for your attention and for your hard work. The work that you're doing is not going to be returned void. It's going to help you personally grow as a human being. You'll be a better human being because of the work you're doing, and other people get a taste of what we have here. And imagine where we would be if we didn't have this. I'm not sure how I could express myself and how there would be something missing. And so I'm thankful for you guys, and I'm thankful for this opportunity to be part of this. So I love the fact that we can invite someone just to a simple challenge. And who knows where they'll go, but they'll get a chance. They'll get some exposure.
That's where I started.
Real. Yeah.
So good.
Okay. All right. So that's until next week. You got the big dates that you have coming up are, and actually, do we want to meet on Black Friday? So that's a question. I guess I'll. Normally, I go out and do some shopping and stuff like that. So I'm going to say we're not going to meet and the Optimal Health Coach next Friday. But obviously, you can still make your connections, still reach out to your coach, and probably a pretty smart day to be active. And on Monday, be watching your email. You'll be getting an email from Take Shape for Life with some interesting news. So take a look at. Keep an eye out on that because they have some holiday things that they usually do. So.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
All right. Look forward to hearing from maybe.
Good stuff, guys.